Hello and welcome to Breakup Recovery Series for the month of August. My name is Irina Shehovtsov. I am certified NLP, timeline therapy, and hypnotherapy coach. And for the month of August, we are talking about breakup recovery. This is a live series, and if you want to join me, you can join me. You can check out prior videos from yesterday. We were talking about You Are Enough. Today, we are talking about the art of being present. And what does it really mean? Well, first of all, what I want to mention is forget about it. This is the first thing you can do. Forget about it. Learn to meditate and subsequently redirect your thinking. Redirecting your attention to something that makes you feel better. Right? And it prevents you from overthinking. Concentrate your attention on your breath. I don't know how, maybe it sounds weird, but try it out for yourself. Because what it forces us to do when we are breathing, when we are thinking about it, it kind of stops our overthinking. When you concentrate on your breath, especially when you close your eyes and you're being in that moment, just simple breathing in, breathing out. Why do you want to do that? Because our life is so fast paced. It's so, everything is rush, rush, rush. Get it done, done, done. But be present. Be present and practice these tools that I'm going to be sharing with you today. I know I'm coming on a little bit later today, but we cannot miss a day. This is month of August, Breakup Recovery Series, and we are talking about You Are Enough. So, sorry, You Are Enough was yesterday. Today is the art of being present. So first thing is forget about it. Concentrate your attention on your breath for a quick moment. When something arises, something maybe anxious or you're not feeling good, concentrate your attention on your breath and forget about the thing that gets you into the negative frame of mind. Another thing you can do, exercise. Move a muscle and change your thought. Did you know that your body, when you change your physiology, your psychology changes? Oftentimes what happens when we exercise, endorphins get released into our bloodstream and you get happier, you get better. Because usually, let's say you had a long day at work or you were doing something, and then when you, thinking, oh, now I have to go to gym and exercise, like, ew, I don't want to do that. I just want to go like binge on Netflix or something. But what if you, instead of that, keep in mind like how you're going to feel after you do your exercise, how you're going to feel after the gym, how energized you're going to be, how much more like better it is going to be for you. Because you know, deep down, you know what is good for you. We all know that. But sometimes, even though we know what's good for us, we somehow don't do that thing. And this is what being human, I guess, is all about, right? The next thing you can do is breathe, reconnect, and break the cycle. Your breath is the fastest way to reconnect with yourself. Consider this skills, these breathing skills, what they allow you to do, they still your mind. Still, S-T-I-L-L. So making your mind quiet and eliminates many adverse effects of fear-based thinking by lowering your heart rate, by being present. And breathing actually creates space for you. And oftentimes we do need that space. We do need that space where we can go and feel wholesome, we feel at home. And it gives you time to appropriately, constructively respond to your situation instead of reacting. Because when you are in the distract sort of mind, when you are anxious, when you're feeling bad, or something aggravates you, oftentimes what we do is we react to things. You can explode in a range of emotion, or you can say something that you're going to regret later. Before you do that, when something unfavorable comes in and you feel that anger rising up in your body, before you say something that you're going to regret, take a pause and just breathe. Oftentimes we forget to breathe. How simple it sounds, but we forget to do that. The simple thing like that. Another thing you can do is see opportunity in obstacles. In the end of the day, stress is not a bad thing, in moderation. Small amounts of stress actually help us increase our stamina and alertness. But what happens is, if we go back in time to the times of saber-toothed tigers, and the moment of stress was, we had actually different life, the way we live our life, and you had to be on high alert all the time. So we had that fear response, when we were always afraid for our life that saber-toothed tiger is gonna come, and then we have to run. But what happened is, in those days, yes, like you had that instance of the tiger running after you, but then you were able to get away, you were able to hide, or something happened, and it's a short lived. So you were in that state of fear for a short time, and then when the tiger, I call it, not the obstacle, but the threat was gone from your life, you no longer felt stress. It was gone. It was short-lived. What happens in today's world is we mull things over. So the stressful event could be very short, but the way we think about it, because our life, we have 80% is, 20% is what happens, and 80% how we react to what happens. So we could be living in that stress because we're creating the stress by talking to ourselves in that way, or regurgitating or making things up. And this is how our mind works. And so that stressful event in the prehistoric times, it was short-lived. Maybe it was 15 minutes and it was gone. Now it could last a day, a week, a month, or several months, or a year. And then what happens, we develop a temperament. And you're like, what's wrong with this guy? Oh, he has a temperament because of that stressful situation, and we let it go for so long. So stress is good, but in moderation, because it forces us, it increases our stamina and alertness. But the trick is to maintain balance. If you see obstacles only as negatives, a chain reaction occurs, and stress can herald a whole onslaught of snowballs, including anger, resentment, frustration, and depression, because life is a series of lessons. 100% worth learning. Oftentimes we don't see a lesson in a situation right when we are right in it, but we can see it later if we analyze our life, if we become the observer of our life. Savoring is another point I want to make. Savoring is important, whether you're eating something good or spending time with a loved one. There is more to be gained out of this simple exercise of savoring, because it allows you to pay attention. Let's say you're eating food, you're not just stuffing your mouth, or but actually enjoying what you're eating. And when you do that, it's like awesome food, or you recognize and you're being present in that moment, because it forces you to pay attention. Did you know that attention is the highest commodity nowadays? Everybody is spying for your attention. You get bombarded with emails, you get inundated by different tasks and things to do. Everybody wants your attention. Attention is the highest currency you can so be mindful where you spend your attention. Binge eating, I don't know if it's a good idea unless it's something great. Yeah. So savor the food. Don't just fill your mouth, but savor if it's something beautiful, and slow down. Don't just munch on. And if you let's say you're watching TV and you have a favorite bowl of, I don't know, ice cream, and of course it happens automatically, because guess what happens when you're watching TV? You get into the alpha brain state, alpha waves. And what it means is basically you're zoned out. And it happens automatically, oh, there is something good here, let me just and you keep eating, you don't stop. So try to separate your eating from your watching. Maybe try that. See what happens. Another thing you can do is, as I mentioned about attention, attention is important where you spend your attention. Become a master of time and energy. First, schedule and prioritize your time. Then begin to apply yourself. And in the process of achieving your goal, into set achievable tasks, so breaking it down into chunks and seeing where am I spending my time. And celebrate, the celebrating of small wins is so important. Oftentimes we set for ourselves futuristic goals that, I'm gonna get this girlfriend or boyfriend, or I'm gonna get this job, or I'm gonna get this deal, and then it's never enough. Once we set one goal, we keep going for another, and we never stop to realize, oh wow, I achieved my goal. Let me pat myself on the back, or celebrate that small win, that you arrived at where you are. Because oftentimes we place our happiness on how far we are going and how many goals we have, like tick the boxes off, but then we miss that whole opportunity once we arrive there. So become a master of time and energy. Yeah, that is true about binge drinking and working too much and gambling and social media addiction. Yes, because addiction is also could be a way of escaping from something, or especially now in time of pandemic, and you choosing where you want to spend your time, and or maybe you feel stressful and you want to try something else. So limit your time. So for social media addiction, before you go on social media, set a timer for yourself, 15 minutes, and when the timer goes off, don't dismiss it. Just put your phone away. And it has to become a habit. It's not gonna happen overnight. It takes of you being mindful with where you place your attention, because with social media you can start, you look at one thing, oh, I went to check this thing, and then you get down into the deeper hole. If you keep because time just flies by, then you say, oh, I lost 2 hours. So set a reminder, set a timer, and for the habit to become successful, you have to repeat it 7 times over, literally. That's how our mind works, and it's a process of repetition. So alarm goes off, put down the phone. Alarm goes off, put down the phone. And that's how you can practice that. So to recap, what is the art of being present, and why do you want to be present? Why? Because present is the only thing we really have. Being here today. When you're depressed, you're in the past, because you're thinking about, oh, I should have said this, I could have done this. And when you are when you are anxious about something, you're in the future. And what happens is you're missing the present moment. And the present moment, when you are here, it allows you to change your future. Because when you're in the past, you cannot go back unless you have a time machine and change your past. And you cannot go into the future. And oftentimes what we do is we expect the worst case scenario that never comes to be realized, but we are overthinking about it. And we are getting ourselves worried over nothing in the end. And we don't solve anything, we're just getting ourselves aggravated when we are anxious about the future. So be present, be here, be now. Take small steps. Breathe, savor, exercise. Exercise does wonders. Whether it's a brisk 5-minute walk, or an hour in the gym, wherever works for you, or a little yoga practice, or maybe you can just jump up and down. Because when you change your physiology, your psychology changes, your mind will improve, and you will become present. Breathe, reconnect, and break the cycle. Remember, breathing is important. See opportunity in obstacles. See every obstacle as a learning opportunity as opposed to a failure or some hurdle that's difficult. Ask the hurdle, what are you trying to teach me? Or what am I need to learn from this situation? and take at this opportunity as a learning opportunity so that you can move forward. Savor whatever you are doing, whether you're eating amazing food, you're watching a beautiful movie, you're listening to amazing song or music that moves your heart. Savor that moment. When you savor, you are present, you are here. You're not missing out somewhere. You're not daydreaming. You are present. And becoming master of time and energy. If the feeling you get after you exercise was a pill, we will take it. Well, you also want to build muscle, and because our body actually was designed to be in constant movement. But because of our, how you call it, our life, the way we live, the way we, and with the pandemic, our physiology changed, our experience of life changed. Now we spend a lot of time sitting in front of the computer in a sitting position, and it's actually is bad for our body. We need to take breaks, we need to move, we need to exercise, we need to keep our body going, because guess what happens when you don't exercise? Our body is an incredible machine, and it has processes that are happening all the time, and our mind is controlling like the way you breathe, the way you think, the way you, I don't know, brush your teeth. All those processes are working, and our brain is very efficient. It doesn't want to overwork, it doesn't want to do more than necessary. So there are processes in our system that's happening every single time when you breathe, when you do anything. And these processes, and certain chemicals get released, and if we get down to the nitty-gritty of it all. But what happens when we sit, and because of evolution of time, because how quickly that changed from us being always on the go to us always like sitting, our body didn't adapt to that yet, and it's difficult to, so processes are breaking down. The ones that were before normally working, now we had to, it's not working normally anymore because of the way we are living, the way we are spending a daytime, how we are doing, the sedentary lifestyle, exactly. So it's important to move, and exercise, I call it, is different for everyone. And sometimes we also need a habit. How do you start with exercise? Simple, you can do just, tie your shoes. Don't go anywhere, just tie your shoes. Let's say after you wash your dishes, you're gonna tie your shoe. And you're not going anywhere, just tying your shoe. And we need to build little tiny habits, little by little, before you can add additional things if you never exercised before. So our philosophy has not evolved to just sit and think all day. So that's why we need to move, we need to exercise, and it's actually good for us, for all of us. So to recap, forget about it was the first thing. It's when you have the negative thinking, redirect your thinking, redirect your attention, exercise, move a muscle, and change your thought. Breathing, seeing obstacles, seeing opportunities and obstacles, learning from situations, savoring in whatever you're doing, and becoming a master of time and energy. Those are the things that you can do to practice the art of being present. Because present is all you have. Did you know that why is it called the present? Because present is a gift. The fact that we are awake today, that it means there is still things for us to do on this earth. There is still, opportunities. Every morning you wake up, you have a chance to live your life, to take the choices, to make the decisions, so that you can move forward, so that you can benefit. So thank you for watching with me today. If you want to learn more, you can check out the Breakup Recovery series if you're watching on IGTV, or in a Facebook feed, in the videos. You can check out other days. Join me again tomorrow for our day 16 where I'm gonna be sharing more tools and techniques and tips with you today about breakup recovery, thriving and instead of surviving. So thank you for joining me. Remember, you are limitless. The only person standing in the way of your success is you. Change your mindset, change your life. Thank you so much.